All right, everybody, let's do a sound check and audio visual. I think I fixed my camera. How's everybody doing? Good evening, Angel. Hoops in the house. Man. It's Monday. How's everybody's weekend? I had a rough weekend. Sounds good. Sounds good. Loud and clear. Yeah, I had a. Actually, today kind of sucked. I went and I did something, they call it geocaching, if anybody knows what that is. It's kind of like little treasure hunts. But I broke the screen on my phone. Yeah, I don't know if you guys could see it, but it completely, yeah, you probably can't really see it. This edge, I broke my phone. I've had this phone for a long time, and I don't really want to pay for another one. I'm cheap. I do not like to spend money. But other than that, it was a good weekend. Didn't think about the markets. Got to relax. I slept in. And here we are. I'm looking at the markets for the first time, to be honest, guys. So, your heating element in your dryer. Oh man. Pay yourself a little bit and buy my own phone. I know. I mean, I could pay myself. I could take a payout from my Topstep account and get a new phone, but that's not, I don't like to do that. I would rather use the same old phone. My phone's 4 years old. I would, maybe it lasts another week or two, to eventually go take out another one. But it's a bank holiday. It was a bank holiday today, Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Going into Monday night, I'm just taking a look at some of the news. I mean, it seems to be a quiet night. We have some, I think, Australian retail sales. Chairman Jordan speaks. We have FOMC members speaking tonight. That's a little weird. We have Bowman speaks tonight and Mester speaks. Am I seeing this right? Let me know if I'm reading this wrong. But I see that there's two FOMC members speaking late tonight. No payout, no taxes. Yeah, there you go, Todd Adams. That's another reason. Wild. So, two Fed speakers tonight. What time? Let me see. I'm showing 10:55, and I'm on Mountain Standard Time. So midnight. Where are they speaking at? That's so weird. They're probably in Europe or somewhere. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. See if that brings any volatility tonight. Bank of Japan core CPI. So when we're talking about the Nikkei, we probably have some volatility coming into that. But other than that, it's going to be a pretty quiet night tonight. We have consumer confidence Tuesday, and then of course some bigger news later on, closer to Thursday, Friday, as always. But let's dive into it. Let's do our regular rapid. What do we call it? Rapid speed. What we could coin that. We could coin a phrase, just a rapid speed. Go through these different markets, and we'll talk about them. Yeah, so let's go through this. We have the NASDAQ on the daily. Now remember, guys, rapid fire. Yeah, we could call it rapid fire. Remember, I'm looking at these markets for the very first time. So let's watch it. Let's see if we see anything that I'm interested in. So this is the daily chart on the NASDAQ. And the first thing I'm seeing is we had this really ugly candlestick on the 23rd. So this is a key thing that I'm going to be watching, where we have this as a major candle, and anything inside there from basically, 1921 to 619. So this is going to be a key zone, I believe, this week, where we're kind of just inside this daily's range. We finished, I took a lost Friday. I could go over my lost Friday if needed, but essentially I was selling this market, and the market was going up, unfortunately. But until we break either down or above this, I want to be looking at the market as more of a consolidation. I want to be looking for consolidating moves where it's maybe it would be hard to sell up here, But definitely if we come back down into this zone, maybe we start to trend and look for a bullish flagging pattern, maybe something like that this week. I'm not sure. We'll see how this week plays out from a daily perspective. Essentially, I'm going to be looking at that. One other note, and this is always easier to see when it's hindsight, is we broke out and then we sold off, and we sold off into this zone. And this happens to be the zone where we were in March, right? And so technically with hindsight, we could say we broke out, we pulled back, we tested. This was resistance. Resistance now is becoming some support, and we're rallying up. So with hindsight, it's easier to see. Maybe I could have looked at that a little bit better and avoided taking a loss on Friday. But let's zoom into a 60-minute chart, and we'll look at it a little bit clearer. And I'll kind of go through what I was looking at on Friday when I took that loss. And yeah. Friday was a rough day for me, guys, as you guys all seen. But essentially, that's what it was. It was buy the dip, right? We had that huge sell-off Thursday, and yeah, we rallied up from there on Friday. Well, we kind of had a pullback, and I was looking at this pullback as maybe we get another push lower. We didn't get that. I was in a bear mode Friday, and I got I paid for it. So essentially, yeah, it's still buy the dip mentality. We are below something that I was looking at. This is acting as resistance. And man, it kind of went all the way up to, this was tonight. We went up to what, 950s and sold right back down below that. But Friday, I was looking to sell this zone. Of course, you guys seen me sell that zone, and I took a loss. And then I sold, I think there was one or two other zones, and we'll zoom in. And I was just selling it as we was rallying up, and I was losing and losing. Would I do it again? You know what, maybe I'd probably take this short. Maybe I'll wait and try and be patient and take a short closer up here. But I probably would have lost until, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to go back and replay the market after you know what's already happened. But we bought the dip. We're in a bullish market. We don't want to be, I suck at selling, and I know how it is I'm a bull trader. I am very horrible. I am not good at shorting the market. Even though I made like 32,000 on this sell-off, I don't want to say it was luck, but I was just looking for a base hit and happened to catch a really good trade. I'm much better at buying the dip. I'm much better at buying these markets, and I'm going to be doing that this week to see if we could find opportunities to buy it. And so we're kind of, I don't know. This is an interesting market, guys. I want to buy it. I want to see if we could push up high. Do we see all-time highs this week? Maybe. Everything's pointing to buying the dip market for a while. Even as scary as this was, it was just buy the dip. And I think it's the same thing. If we have sell-offs, I'm going to look for areas of support to be buying this market. And that's all there is to it. Right now, we're kind of in the middle. We're right in the middle of this. We had a big bounce. Let's see. Yeah, we had that nice bounce today. I'm going to wait. I don't have any bias right now on the NASDAQ in terms of wanting to take a trade or any opportunities that I'm seeing, but I would definitely wait to find opportunities to buy the dip. I will be on TopstepTV tomorrow morning. It's going to be me, my trading buddy coach, or Rips, and MP. So that's going to be fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. Everybody, you guys all know that. I'll go over it once. Let's get over the rest of these markets. So crude oil. Man, crude oil was good to me. Everybody probably seen I actually end up taking an amazing trade. I think it was Thursday night, maybe. Maybe it was Friday morning before I just spiraled downhill. But I got in long at 76.50, and I ended up closing it early. I closed it for like 75 cents. But look how nice of a trade that was. I should have just held on to this trade. hindsight's 20/20 always. But look at this, buying the dip, buy. This is a consolidating market. It's a very simple and very straightforward type of market here on the crude oil, because whenever we get to these highs, we've sold off. Every single time we've came down into the bottom of this range around $77 a barrel, plus or minus 50 cents, they've been great buying opportunities. And then vice versa, look for targets up here. And so we're kind of on our way to this upper side. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see if we get some type of a pullback and then a push back up towards $80 a barrel. That's a key psychological level. I mean, it's basically from $79.50 to $80 a barrel. So I believe that we're on the way to test these highs, very much like we've had this rally and this rally. So I would like to have a pullback before getting into a long. And we all know crude likes to hunt stops, just like we did down here. This is a beautiful example of running the stop losses, where we push down, find liquidity, and then we turn around and rally up. And so I'm going to look for something similar tonight. If this presents itself, it will be something that I will be looking to take. This is a 60-minute crude oil chart. And let me just do some further analysis. I think this was a decent breakout. It's hard to say. But I would like to see crude oil run some stops. We could find some stops maybe based off of that level. If there's probably some stop losses there if somebody's already long. Let's zoom into a 5-minute chart and see if we can see anything else. Yeah, maybe just a run of some stops is what I would like to see, below 78.50, and then look for a long and a rotation back up towards 79 to $80 a barrel. So that being said, some opportunities we could do is put some buy limits for the break and then look for a long. I think that's all I'm seeing in crude oil. That's a quick analysis. Maybe I'll come back and touch base on this again. I'd like to see what we do tonight in this next 40 minutes to see if are we going to break out and then reverse. Yeah, let's leave that. I want to see. I want to see what crude oil does tonight while I'm in class. I'd like to see if crude oil is going to break right now and then turn back down, or if we're going to hold and sustain. That's going to be interesting. Now let's talk about gold. I'm actually wanting to get short gold. I'm not going to hesitate. I'm looking to get short gold right now, guys. Let me zoom in. Oh man, did I miss it? Let's see if we could get a bounce up to like maybe 52. If we get a bounce to 52, I might get into a short. Damn it. Oh well. That was the trade. That was the freaking trade. I should have looked at that earlier. I seen you guys mention it in the chat. And it is rolling, so yeah, that is something to be aware of. Man, that's a beautiful short. I could even see us go down to 23.40. There it goes. That was the okay. Anyway, okay, let me not think about that to start off my week. Let's see. This is a beautiful trade, and immediately, do you guys remember how we were looking? We had that huge sell-off last week, and I was looking for some type of a pullback, right? I was like, let's see if we get into a short. Let's see if we get into a short gold somehow, but I want to get into a short gold off of a pullback. And to me, this looks like it's a really good pullback. We actually pulled back to an area of support, right? Support resistance. This is a nice little zone that when we do get a pullback, we see some resistance, and we could take a trade and look for another leg down. Of course, the better trade would have been, it looks like earlier today, this morning. If anybody was trading, I wasn't trading. I think a better risk reward trade would be to get in closer into this zone, right? So we have this zone. You can see it's here and here. And so the way I would like to take that trade is find some area to get in short, and that would have played out really nicely, have a good risk reward. Yeah, here's that bounce. What do you think about that, Coach Jay? What's your thoughts on this gold? Because now that's a little bit bigger of a bounce than I would have liked. It didn't really play out the way I liked, to be honest, guys. That's quite the pullback. That's almost looking like this, right? I would have liked maybe a little bit of a hesitation, a bounce to 52, and then a continuation. But we pushed down, and now we're already bouncing back up. That's a little bit too strong of a move. Yeah, Coach Jay, you were looking for a short as well, but 2350 is a strong level. I mean, yeah, if we want to look at it from a pure technical standpoint, from a not say we're not looking at the higher time frame. If we're looking at this, right, where we just broke out and now we're pulling back and we're pulling back to support, then there is an argument to be said buy, right, from an intermediate trend, which we've been in, a bullish trend here, right, then that is definitely an argument to be said that buyers stepped in at an area of resistance that became support, and we could see another leg maybe higher. But when I'm zoomed out to that higher time frame, right, so when we're looking at a 60-minute time frame and we're looking at a little bit bigger of a picture, then the argument is to be said that we are in a downtrend, and this is a pullback to resistance. So there's always a way to convince yourself to either get long or short. I like this higher time frame, and my direction on gold is to the short side, based off of this price action that you see here on the chart. We broke down, we sold off, we're pulled back to this area of resistance, the support resistance. And maybe today during the New York session was the trade. Like maybe shorting up here was probably the better opportunity to get in short there, put a stop loss, and then have a really 3-to-1, 4-to-1 risk reward, looking for that continuation down. But on a much smaller time frame, as we zoomed into a 5-minute chart, it looks better for the long side. So let's see how this plays out. If I see something I like again, I'm going to take it to the short side. I'm not going to be buying gold right now, just because I'm going to be ready though. I'm going to be ready. Technically, I would be short. So if I was watching this and if I had it set up now, most likely I would be short, say 2351.9, so 2352. So I would be short there. My stop loss maybe somewhere like that, around 56, and then I would be looking for take profits probably, this maybe at one of these two spots around 46 or 40. That would be the trade. If I was watching this a little bit too sooner, I would probably be in a short. Let's watch this play out. I'll be interested and see where we're at. If it sets up again, maybe we do rally up and see some type of reversal right here, and I get a much better risk reward. Or we just sell off and say, dang it gave me an opportunity to get short again. I didn't do it, but that's okay. Someone said Crude's not doing anything. Now let's look at Nikkei. So Nikkei, this is Japanese market. Usually the higher time frame is typically the strongest. So here's the Nikkei, and this is something I was looking at on the Nikkei a little bit earlier. I seen there was a couple other traders who's seeing something similar. This is a decent sell-off zone, right? I was looking at this and maybe looking at this, and that's before this little sell-off happened. So I had these on my charts. I'm like, okay, well, this spike kind of screwed some things up. I'm not sure and Nikkei likes to hold this. So maybe we have some type of sell-off, and we did get it. I did not take this trade. As you can see, I have a hat on. I just got out of the shower, and I was not watching these markets. I don't know. I think for Nikkei, I think we could honestly continue this bullish trend and move in this channel. So I would much rather see something like this. Maybe we come and test, and then I take a trade to the long side. Like I said, yeah, hat equals shower. Hat equals I'm lazy, and when I got out of the shower, I just didn't want to do my hair. So yeah, I think I'm going to be looking for opportunities to buy the Nikkei because I have not been good at shorting markets lately. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, that little whipsaw, man. Okay. Anyway, that being said, I'll watch these markets. We'll go back and forth. If you guys see something, shout it out. I don't mind going through and maybe reviewing something that I missed. But there we go. Yeah, it was a $34,000 winner. I'm just talking about over the long run. I've ended up having a hard time shorting markets than I do buying the markets, and maybe it's a fear thing, it's a mental thing. I know it's a mental thing or a fear thing. Out of my own personal trading style and me as a trader, I'm just not the best at shorting the markets. I find it a lot easier to buy. I'm looking at markets from a bullish lens per se, and I'm looking for patterns. It doesn't mean I can't short, right? Like this, you guys see me short the market. I would have shorted gold at 52, and that might work out pretty well. But ultimately, I think I'm just programmed myself to look at longs, right? Look at the markets from the long side, like hey, if we break out above this, and then I look for a test, then I'm going to get in long on a continuation move to the north, and that's a lot easier pattern for me to see and to recognize and to understand. So it's more of a psychological thing, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, let's get to some interesting news, guys. So everybody knows there's some amazing news that's going to be coming out this week. I'm going to be on Fast Markets with MP and Rips. And I heard, and they haven't told me yet. They haven't told me. They've been trying to keep it a surprise. However, MP's been pretty dang active on the Twitter or on the X or whatever it is. So I really don't know what it is, guys. I don't, but you guys could see that MP has been active on Twitter. And some of the traders have been sending me some of his messages. And so my suggestion is to go see what he's saying. And I think he's given away a lot of it. From my understanding, I don't know exactly because they haven't told me yet. So if I was to guess, like that would be the best way to do it. And we have some people in the chat saying 5 XFAs, mobile app. I don't know. Like I said, I know there's been hints at it. I know MP could never be a poker player. I get all the inside scoop from MP if you listen to him in the mornings during fast markets, and now if you see him on Twitter, I guess he's giving clues out that way. So yeah, I think that's it. That's something I wanted to talk about because I seen it over the weekend. There's been some fun stuff, but he's a bad lie. No, they haven't told me. I have not been told. Nope. I don't even think they can. I mean, they probably could, but because I'm a contractor, I'm not a W-2 full-time employee. So I don't even think they can tell me some of the stuff. But yeah, I'm scrolling through and seeing if I missed anything. But I think that was it. I've been following it. It's kind of tempting me to get a Twitter account just to follow what's MP's been going on Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, so I think that's it. So big news this week on TopstepTV. I'd stay tuned to tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be big. Tomorrow's going to be fun. I'm going to try, I don't want to say make up. I'm not going to say make up for my Friday's lost, but I'm going to trade my strategy, and we'll see if we can make some money in the house account, and I can make some money on my account. Oh, and then, yeah, Danielle did say there's going to be a fire drill later this week. So not tonight, but later this week. Fire drill for a reset. So that's going to be great for everybody watching. There's always fire drills, guys. I mean, to be honest, if I was starting out, and maybe here's a good piece of advice, or here's something interesting. Yeah, I lost Friday. I lost 9K Friday. And then I'm going to start getting to some questions. But here is an honest to truth, great piece of advice for anybody who's starting out new, who's brand new, or even somebody who's been here a while and has yet to, get a payout or, get a consistent rhythm or something, who's not been consistent, right? If you struggle with blowing a combine, if you haven't got a payout, this is 100% my honest opinion. And I'm sure the Top Step team doesn't mind me giving this out, or at least telling you guys my honest opinion. If I was brand new and I didn't have a lot of money, or if I was on a fixed income, I would pay for a 150K combine, or I would even pay for a 50K combine, just depending on what my budget allows for. And if I didn't know anything about the market, I would just trade that one combine, and I would watch TopstepTV every single day because they're always giving away free crap. And then I essentially wouldn't have to pay for any resets because they're always giving me away free stuff. And yeah, I would honestly do that, guys. TopstepTV and the team has been so amazing at giving this type of stuff and giving these opportunities. And coming from a coach, there was an aspect where it's like, what, I don't want, and it's a double-edged sword because as a coach, I'm like, do not give away free stuff. It's just going to encourage bad habits. They'll risk more than they should. They need to treat their account like it's a one account, like it's a personal account, and you can't really blow it, and resets are bad, right? But then there's that other perspective, like, hey, you know what? If you're struggling and you're practicing and you're trying to develop your strategy, a reset could be very good as long as it's used in that type of manner and you're not just using it to just kind of gamble. It is a better way. So definitely watch TopstepTV. I'm always talking with Danielle and the team to try and get me definitely get me the inside scoop to see if I could give away reset or a fire drill on my slow markets. So maybe I could convince them to do it tonight. Not tonight, but on slow markets anyway. So not tonight, guys, but one of these nights, maybe I could convince them to give that. But anyway, let's get to some of these questions. I've been watching gold. Like I said, I want to see if a short opportunity presents itself. I'm watching the price action here. We're seeing a little bit of resistance, right? Just a little bit, not a lot, but there's a little bit of resistance right around this 52, 53 area. So I'm going to watch it. Maybe we break out and we rally up, like I was saying, and it's looking more and more likely that would have been a great buy the dip into this support. But we'll see. If we start to see some type of reversal, I might take it. And then again, you might ask, well, why don't you just buy it? We've already rallied up so much, and my analysis was on an hourly chart. And so that leads to my next question. So your analysis is based on the hourly chart. Yes, it is. You seen how I do my analysis? It's on these higher time frames for slow markets. And I look for these areas of support and resistance on higher time frames because that's a more dominant time frame. and then I'll zoom in to a smaller time frame, like a 5-minute chart, and then I look for more technical patterns that will trigger me in to a trade, right? Like a breakout pattern. Maybe this is now, maybe it's an obvious, maybe a bullish flag if we break out and we pull back and then I trigger in. So I do my analysis on a higher time frame, like an hourly time frame, and then I zoom in and I trade based off that higher time frame biased or technical pattern. And yeah, maybe this is like that could have been a great one, but my analysis on the higher time frames says, I'm more bearish because gold is been selling off last week, and I'm looking at this as maybe a pullback. But on the smaller time frame, we are making higher lows and we're making higher highs, and yeah, that's how it's working out right now for gold. Can you talk about adding to trades that are in profit versus drawdown? I struggle with this. When in drawdown, I don't move my stop, but sometimes add just before I stop. Rockin' OOTJ. That is a good question, guys. I think I'm gonna have a whole class just on that. I seen that there's a lot of you traders who wants to know a little more details about how I scale into a trade, and I use that technique of scaling in when it's going against me, or scaling in when it's going in my favor, or scaling out. And I was looking at some of the traders, and a lot of what I do is very basic and very simple, and it's nothing new and it's nothing special. But the way that I've trade in terms of like the technique of scaling in and scaling out might be a little unique for a lot of traders. So I do think that it could be very important, because there is a fine line between scaling in and then just that moron trade that we always talk about and you hear Hogue say. So maybe I hold a class. What are your guys' thoughts? Should I? Because if I hold a class, I want it to be a full 1-hour session of scaling in and scaling out. And I want it to be like recorded for everyone to see, because it's something that, I don't want to say I don't like to repeat myself or it's a headache repeating myself, because we have new traders coming in, and it'd be nice to have videos that I could refer to new traders. Yes. Yeah, let me see if I could get that planned, because it's going to be a little bit more planning. I want it to be more formal, I guess, more like a formal class rather than just me turning on the camera, preparing for slow markets, and then going through slow markets. It would be more of a, maybe I make a slideshow, maybe I talk about it a little more in depth, and spend that full 1 hour on how I like to scale into trades and then scale out of trades, because I find myself repeating it a lot. Not that I don't mind repeating it and helping traders, but eventually it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I've went over this so many times, and we have 1,700 traders watching this, and for maybe 1,200 traders, they already know it. They see my slow markets. They see me do it all the time. They understand it. But then for 300 traders, they have no idea what I'm talking about, and they want to learn that. And so that's always the battle when you're having a big class like we have in slow markets or on TopstepTV, is you want to teach and have a really good class, but you can't really cater to everybody, right? You can't cater to someone who's brand new versus someone who's been here for a while. And I think that would definitely be one of the best ways to do it and plan for it. So there's gold breaking out. Oh man, did I just, let me get back to gold. Where did we go? GC, futures, gold. And gold is rolling over, right? So we'll switch to the 5-minute chart. Yeah, there we go on gold. That was a good that was a good long, right? If you got long on that trade. Who got long? Who bought gold? Is anybody long gold? We even went back and tested that. Look, that was... Yeah, we even went back down. Look, we broke out. We came back down and tested, and then we continued that push. So we're already up almost 1%. Mimi, look at everybody who's got long. Oh, Lima, Peru. I was there last year for a month. I need to go back. I plan on going back to Lima. It's winter there, and I love the weather at this time of year. Let's see. That's 1 minute chart, 5 minute. Now the next question I'm thinking to myself is on this higher time frame. So I'll go back to a higher time frame, like a 60 minute. Walter, you're going to August. I still have a bunch of soles that I have that I carry around. I love collecting currency. Like the soles, it's like, what is it? 3.6 soles per US dollar. Now you zoom back out to an hourly chart, and I'm a little less bearish now. I mean, look, you see how we wick down because everything correlates, right? Markets are fractal, and I could very much seeing it. Are we going to hover around here? Are we going to just consolidate? I don't know. I'm going to wait. Like, this needs more information. As bearish as we could be down here, and that just kind of reversed it on me. So I'm going to wait. This trade is still valid. So it's just going to be me waiting for more of a technical standpoint to see if we could get into a short gold. Or maybe we just rally up, and the next area that I would be looking for is going to be 2370, right? This, you could see this is a decent area that if we do get a bigger pullback, then maybe that could provide some opportunities. So I'm still going to be continuing to look at this as short and looking for trades to the downside. Where I'm going to wait for the market to tell me. I'm kind of glad I didn't get triggered into that short. So anyway, let's see if there's anything else. Crude oil, it did just that, right? We popped up and then we went right back down into this area. And the Nikkei is selling off a little bit. Okay, that being said, let's get to some questions. We have 20 minutes left in class, so let's get to some of your guys' questions. I'm sure you have them. Type them in the chat. We have an amazing moderator team who will be getting to any of the ones that I do miss. So question time, we'll do some Q&A. I'll continue to watch these markets, and if I see anything, I'll mention it. If you guys see the market move, let me know, because I can't. Like I said, I have 4 monitors. Okay, I have YouTube and your YouTube chat on one. I have Discord, Forex Factory, and Slack on the other, and then I have my OBS studio on my other monitor. So I'm only trading on this monitor that you see, and what you guys see in front of you is what I see as well. So type into the chat if you guys have any questions, and we'll look at these markets. And I'm staying on these 4 markets. Now I know you guys, we want to talk about these other markets like the ES and YM and these, like maybe currency, and eventually I will. Right now 4 markets is enough. Soon we're going to get this slow markets class to where I will be covering it. One thing I'm curious, and maybe this could be a question, and I'll hold this question as a poll because I think this is very good. Yeah, let me do that actually. I'm going to hold a poll in chat, because if I was to add another market, what market would I add? Because if I add a market, I'm going to trade it, and I'm going to be trading it in my live account. So if I add a market, I'm going to trade it. It's pointless for me to have a market on there. So let me do this. Let me add a poll. All right. What market should I add? Oh, this is going to be, yeah, just wait, guys. Wait. So we're going to do ES. What are some, so we have silver. I'm just looking at your guys' chats. Silver. DAX is not an option yet. YM. How many options do I get? I only get 4. We'll do elimination. We'll do a process of elimination to get this, because if I'm gonna trade it, I really am. Maybe we do currency, because we have currency futures. Oh man, you guys gonna make fun of my spelling. So silver, platinum, copper, currencies. Now, I'm making this as if you have one of these. So I want to make sure I get this right. Okay. So the currencies could be like JPY, and this will be process of elimination. Okay. So the different currencies is going to be like Euro USD, JPY, USD, just like 3 or 4 lists of currencies, and then we'll change it from there. We have silver, platinum, copper, ES, YM. I will not trade. I probably will not trade Bitcoin though, guys. Yeah, Skylar, I'm not. Man, you know what? Let's do it. BTC. So BTC, soybeans. Something that includes micros. I'm not good with bonds either. We have a lot of you guys talking about Bitcoin. Oh, yeah, Bitcoin would be, I don't know about that though, guys. Natural gas, ZE, live cattle, lumber. Let's do, okay, let's do this. I'm going to post this. It's going to be one market. We're going to have two polls. This is the first one. And then whatever poll you guys vote for, I'm going to have another poll and split it up, because I'm not going to add a bunch of them. I'm just going to add maybe 1 or 2. And when I do add them, I'm going to trade them in my live account. And I'm not just going to jump in. I will show you guys how I personally transition to that. Joseph, you say none of the above. What market would you like, Joseph? Yeah, I don't think I would trade Bitcoin. I've played in it a little bit, and it's not for me. And if I'm going to trade something, I need to make sure I'm comfortable trading it. And I'll show you guys how I transition. I'll take some demo account trades on it. I'll watch it. I'll monitor it for a little while until I feel like, okay, you know what? I'm starting to understand this, because every single market has its own unique features. I thought currency would get a lot bigger of a vote, to be honest. Natural gas, RBOB. I'll add that to the next poll. Okay, so we've only got 400 votes and 1,600 traders are in here. 1,700 traders. Okay, while we're waiting for you guys to vote, I'm going to go ahead and answer some questions. Where did I learn how to trade, or who did I learn from? So I didn't learn from any individual. And let me think about that for a minute. I learned how to trade when I was very young. I started learning when I was like 12, 13, 14. I learned, and you guys remember last week I brought like a technical pattern poster. So I went through and I memorized. I memorized all the technical patterns, like 3-bar reversal, what a doji is, what a candlestick is. And I just went through and memorized everything. And I'm like, okay, I have the market figured out. I'm going to make a lot of money because every single time there's doji and there's this pattern, then this happens, shoulder, head and shoulders, this works this way, and that was like only a drop in the bucket. And so I went through that whole process of memorizing all the technical patterns, and then look, yeah, gold's pushing now. Look at that gold. Yeah, gold's going all the way up into those upper 50s. And so after I went through and learned that, then I learned the hard way. It's not just memorizing technical patterns. Sure enough, then I learned to understand that the different type of orders, what a buy limit is, what a buy stop is, and learning all the, what do we call it, language, what is it called, guys? The verbiage, the language, the talk of the markets, what a stop loss is, what this is. And it took a while just learning that type of stuff. Yeah, currencies, NZD, Japanese. Currencies are pretty volatile. So let's do this. I'm going to end this poll and I'm going to start a new one. And yeah, lingo. Lingo is the best. Yeah, learning the lingo is very, very important. There's a lot to learn when it comes to that. So we have ES, YM is one of them. We're going to do silver, plat. 1 second. We're going to do this poll again. I'm going to do process of elimination. We're going to get a really good poll to make sure we're adding what you guys really want. And I seen... So one more, and then I think that would be it. So I just want to make sure this is process of elimination to make sure I'm adding the right ones. Eventually, I'll narrow it down because I'm not going to add silver, platinum, and copper. It's just going to be one of them. And then I'm not going to add ES and YM. It's just going to be one of them as well. But I want to make sure I'm adding it the right way and making that decision of which ones I'm wanting to add. Yeah, Japanese yen is, to be honest, Japanese yen is pretty good at this period of time. And think of it for slow markets, guys. Yeah, I really want to make sure you guys understand this is slow markets. This is the Asian market. And I do agree that ES and YM could be really slow. But if you guys want me to, I don't know. I'm sure there is a way to trade it because I do trade on the higher time frame. Kevin, why not add all of them, one for each? Because I have my 4 markets, and this is me trading. I'm a trader first. I trade my live account at this time. I trade my personal account at this time. And if I'm going to spend my time looking at a market, I want to make sure that I am going to be trading it. So I hope that's fair. And I'm not going to look at a market that I do not trade. And I don't think it's fair for me to look at a market that I do not trade. So that is why. Okay, I'm going to end the poll there because I think I got an understanding. Not a lot of, only 10% for Bitcoin, and that's fair. I'm going to do currency. Yeah, I'm favoring currencies. You guys love YS and EM. Why do so many of you guys like YS and EM? I'm really curious because those are really slow during slow markets. Japanese yen, currencies, cognitive bias, YS and EM. Yeah, ES and YM. There's my dyslexia right there. ES and YM. USD. That's dyslexia kicking in. YS and E. Yeah, you guys, a little bit of dyslexia. Late night. USD CAD, Japanese yen. Yeah, that's dyslexia the way I read that. The pound, dollar yen. I mean, if I had to personally pick, I would really like to see. You know what? Why not? I'm going to add. Yeah, I'm going to redo the poll. I will redo the poll. How do we do this? I wish this will give me a lot more options than just it only gives me 4. And I'm sure we could figure this out. Yeah, don't worry. I will get this figured out. I have a good way to do process of elimination. If you guys are willing to keep voting, then yeah. Yeah, we're doing this. We're getting it. I'm getting an answer tonight. And I'll split them up in a moment. Yeah, this is process of elimination. So bear with me, guys. I appreciate you guys. So the same thing, same question. We're going to get this. And as we go through, feel free to answer questions. I haven't seen too many questions come in on here. Yeah, we have 8 minutes left. I might extend this for another few minutes. Skylar, you don't have to spam the chat. That's part of currencies. I want to see what your guys' big difference. And there will be a London session this month. So not this month, this upcoming month. There is going to be a London session in June. So stay tuned. I'll let you guys know. London session this upcoming month. Maybe 1, maybe 2. Orange juice futures. Yeah, it looks like YM wasn't really the favorite. It looks like everyone was voting for ES. ES was the main vote for everybody. Add 1 hour. I don't think I could do these classes for 2 hours every single night. That takes up a big portion of my night, guys. Maybe we could get Maybe we could get Deanna on one of my London sessions if she trades the London Open. Did gold break? No. I mean, gold did break this trend, right? You could say gold broke this. Yeah. I'm still I still like a short gold, guys. I really do. I mean, look, 23.57 is holding pretty dang nice right here. It really is. DAX would be interesting. I mean, there's rumors that DAX might be on the B there as well. Okay, here we go. So YM is eliminated. I'm gonna do one more poll, maybe 2 more polls, and then we could get a good answer tonight. Because I kind of have a good idea of how you guys think in terms of the way you guys trade and what you guys are looking at. And there's rips. There's rips. Yeah, we're starting to eliminate. I have a good idea. Yeah, DAX is not available yet, but if you guys stay tuned, I tell you guys, stay tuned, watch Topstep TV, and whenever I find information, I will give it to you guys. And I just say, watch Topstep TV, and you tend to find little bits of clues of what's coming out at Topstep. And I can't confirm it because I haven't been told that information. But whenever I get any, I will let you know. If I could confirm it, I will let you guys know. But I can't give you on what my opinion is of, oh, I think this is going to come out. Because it's not fair, right? Because I'm an official representative. And I want to give accurate information. Yeah, what do we say, Rips? Are we going to be, we're going to have some fun tomorrow. Rips and we're going to have some more fun tomorrow. We made the house account 9,000 last week. Last Tuesday was amazing. Me, Rips, Andre, and MP. Yeah, that's what we're doing, Blue Ivy. We're looking at a market. We're narrowing it down. Of course, I have a vote as well. I know what I'm leaning towards. I'm just kind of seeing where your guys' opinions are are looking at, because if I add two, I'll add one that you guys want me to add, but then I might add one that I'm looking to trade as well. And I'm actually thinking about trading the dollar yen USD JPY. That is definitely going to be one of the ones that I'm thinking of adding. What's the balance of the house account? Ooh, that's a good question. Let's find that out tomorrow. Let's see if we can find that out tomorrow. I think it was like 50,000. Was it around 50,000? I can't remember. But yeah, I love it too. Me, Rips, and MP. That's the best. Can I say that we're the best? Tuesday was awesome. Yeah, USD JPY is one that I'm leaning towards. Do I say leaning heavy towards? But it's something I'm thinking about. I am right here, right now, looking at a gold short. I'm going to short gold. If we get a nice bounce up back into the 55s, I'm going to get short gold. All right, platinum is not that great. Okay. Let's see if we can get it bounce up into the mid 55s. I want to watch this. I want to get in short gold. I missed it a little bit. I should have got in short at 55.7. And I don't want to chase it. Let's see, because I think this is the reversal. Yeah, this I'm liking this short. But I don't want to get a bad price, and I don't want to chase the market. Yeah, bad price and chasing the market, just, I don't. Using limit orders. Let's go ahead and do 3. Let's see if we can get in right here. Can we get 52? I don't know if it will give us 52. Let's watch. Let's see if we could get in. Okay. Anyway, while we're doing this, while we're watching, like I said, I'm going a little bit longer, which I'm fine with. There we go. We got it. Beautiful. Now, let me finish this poll. We're getting closer. This is going to be one of the final polls. A little bit of dyslexia is real. I mean, okay, I'm not gonna make any more jokes about that. Okay, this is one of the last polls, and we'll get it narrowed down. And let's see how this gold plays. Let me talk through this gold. Let me see. I like this short. Let's see if we can get. I'm looking through a stop loss. Let me look at this higher time frame again. We got nice resistance there. This would be my first stop loss, but that's a bit too long for me. Yeah, immediately this is the most logic stop loss right now, above 60, but that risk is a lot. That risk is way too much for 3 contracts. So if we zoom into a 5-minute chart, my next option would be, of course, this is the next logical stop loss. See, I'm just not good at shorting markets. This is the next logical stop loss for me is, what is this? Right around 23.57.5. So this is, maybe I do that. Do I put the stop loss there? Do I put it right here? I'm going to put a hard stop right here. There we go. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and sell at ask. I'm going to see if I could. I'm going to scale into this trade, actually, guys. We're going to go ahead and do this. Let's see how this works out. I want to scale into this trade. So the reason why I added to this was we got that nice bounce, and then we turned around and rejected. I might be a little bit early on scaling in, but a lot of times I like to scale in if we would have just broke down below that one. So maybe that was a little bit early. I did buy at or sell at ask, but my preferred scale in is if we broke below this candle right here. And so the scale in price would be 54.9, but I got in a little bit earlier, so I was willing to take a little bit more risk because it looked like we was going to break. We essentially just pushed up, rejected, and now we're heading back down a little bit. Let me go ahead. I'm going to move my stop loss right there for right now because I don't want to risk too much. I scaled into a decent sized position. I'm going to watch this. I want to get in, and I'm going to scale out as well. Because I want to hold a portion of this. I want to hold a portion of this overnight. So going into tomorrow, based off of those higher targets, if this works out, right? Because most likely I'm not going to hold the full 6 contracts. So let's look at some targets. So my first target obviously is going to be right here. We have some support resistance in this zone. And so I'm going to go ahead and say that would be a decent target. And that's going to be the first one I am looking at. This next one's going to be probably right here, right around 47s. And that's probably the same reason, right? We have some support right here. Actually, a little bit above that. Maybe I could take 38. And so I'm just marking this. A lot of this is me thinking out loud as well. And immediately I'd probably want to get out of one if we come back down to 50s. And so I scaled in. You guys got to see how I scaled in. And now let's think about how I'm going to scale out. And so and you guys get to listen. This is exactly what I'm thinking in my head. If this doesn't work out, then that's so be it. Essentially, I'm risking whatever this is. Let's say $2.3. I'm talking in terms of the gold, $2.3. And the risk reward right now is if I held all 6 all the way down here, that's a 6-to-1 risk reward. And so we're thinking about big, like this is great risk reward on this particular trade. And that's why I was more than happy to take this and even add to it, right? So, I think I'm fine with that. If I get out of one here, this would technically be a 1-to-1 risk reward on one contract, and then these other ones, like this is a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, maybe 5 or even a 6-to-1 on that one. But I like getting out of this zone. So I don't mind getting out of half there. And then maybe just hold 2 down into this area. And that would equal 6. So maybe something like this. And you see how I don't put them all at the same price sometimes. Yeah, sometimes I don't like putting them all at the same price just because, bottom ticked and all that crazy stuff that we're all talking about. Someone say Nikkei's going crazy. Yeah, Nikkei's. So let's watch this. I might consider doing something like this instead. And that makes the risk reward a lot better looking at it like this. We'll see. I'll come back to this. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to continue to analyze this for a moment, but let me just get this poll. Okay, currencies and ES. We have a lot of people talking about ES and currencies. So let's do this. I'm going to add the dollar yen and I will add ES. So let's do that. I am adding ES. We'll look at ES, not tonight, but another night. It's going to take me some time to get used to it, but ES is very similar to the NASDAQ. So essentially, it's the same analysis. Okay, but I mean, it's going to be something we could talk about. Okay, so we'll talk about ES. We'll maybe see if there's a difference between ES and NASDAQ. We'll see how that correlation is between ES and NASDAQ, and we'll talk about it. But then I'm going to add dollar yen. So I want to add the dollar yen. Anybody know what the dollar yen is? Is it like 6J or something? Yeah, it's 6J. Okay, here's the dollar yen. So there we go. Those are going to be the two currencies the two markets I'm adding, and I will watch them. I will talk about them, and we'll see if anything sets up. Let's take a look at this gold trade though, because it's going pretty well. So yeah, 6J, we got ES we'll be talking about, and then the dollar yen. That's going to be a great addition to slow markets, right? When we're going through that rapid pace, rapid fire, and we'll talk about it, and we'll see where it goes. And I'll watch these, and the way that I like to do it, and the way that I like to trade it, and I want to make sure I'm very clear in the way that I go about this is I'm not going to jump into immediately placing orders in my live account. I will not do that. I will never do that. Of, hey, this is a new market, even though I've traded it before, even though I'm familiar with it, I know what it is. I will not jump in by placing orders in my live account. I'm going to analyze it for a month. I'm going to watch it for a month. I'm going to see how it's acting. I'm going to see what it's doing. And then I'm going to get comfortable maybe placing some demo account orders, maybe placing some combine orders on it. And then when I feel comfortable, I'm like, okay, I'm getting used to it. I see how it's I know how the technical analysis on it. I know where I put my stop loss, and then I know how to put like my take profits on it. Then I would be fine with a combine or my live account. And it's going to be the same with the ES. I'm a little bit more comfortable with the ES than I am with the dollar yen. But I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm going to find a way, and maybe I don't even place a live account, because there is a possibility that when going through this, I'm like, okay, this is just too much for me to go through every night. I do not like the way that the dollar yen is acting. It just doesn't fit the way that I like to trade, and it's a little too, for example, maybe it's too whipsaw for me. Maybe that has too many wicks, and it's kind of difficult for me on either the ES or the yen. And then I said, okay, you know what? I tried it. I watched it for a month. I placed some combine or some demo account orders. I didn't do too well. I'm just going to drop it. There's no sense of me forcing myself to trade a market that I don't have to. And that's exactly the way I'm going to go about it. Is I already have my main 4 markets I trade in my live account. That's the NASDAQ, the crude oil. Oh, that's the 5-minute chart. Crude oil, the Nikkei, and then gold. You guys got to watch me transition gold into my live account, right? Remember, I watched gold for a good month, and I placed some orders, and now I'm trading gold consistently, and I'm talking about gold every night consistently. It's going to be the same thing for ES, and the same thing for the Japanese yen. I'm a little more familiar with the ES because I have placed trades on ES this year, because it's very similar. If not, I would say it's more of a beginner's market compared to the NASDAQ. And then it's the Japanese yen. And I think the Japanese yen is going to be a great example, because guess what, guys? We have a lot of traders who are coming over from Forex to futures, and it's only... I think it's a good example to show that, hey, let's see if we could analyze the Japanese yen for all of our currency traders out there. Let's see if we could do it, right? So I think that's only fair, and we'll see if we could get the Japanese yen into the live markets in my account. Will it? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Immediately when I'm looking at it, it seems very choppy. A lot of wicks, a lot of choppiness. we'll see how it goes though, guys. So there's that. And this gold trade is working out so far. Anyway, let's do 4 more minutes and then we'll end it there. 4 more minutes, ending it there. How about that? Yeah, maybe we even look at the euro dollar. I don't know. Like I said, it's been a long time since I trade currencies, but we could look at it. There's nothing wrong with looking at it and going from there. But I'm still going to focus on my main 4 markets priority. Priority is my main 4 markets. Priority is trading and making money first. And then if we have time, we'll look at these other markets and see if we could add it. If anything, maybe, just maybe, if I become good with ES or maybe the Japanese yen and I start being more consistent and making more money, then I'll just say, you know what, goodbye ES, I'm focusing on the yen. Or goodbye crude oil, I'm going to focus on the yen. That's something that we can do as traders as well, is if one market is better than the other, then we focus on that one and we trade that. We trade the market that we trade the best at. That's the point of doing analytics. That's the point of doing testing. That's the point of, seeing how your trading statistics are on your trader's dashboard and, journaling your trading as well, is you could see things like this is, hey, you know what? I've noticed that, this market is just a lot better for the way that I trade. And so you focus on that market and drop the other markets. And now I have 6 markets to focus on. And so immediately I'm thinking, is this going to mess with my slow markets class? Am I going to have enough time to go through all these markets? Am I going to lose my attention, or how is this going to play? And we'll see. We'll see how that is, and we'll have a good answer probably by the end of the month. So. Oh, that being said, man, well, what a night, guys. It was fun. We'll see how this gold trade plays out. Essentially, I'm risking, what's my risk? You guys probably know this better than I do. I'm risking about $1,200 on this trade, risking $1,200 to make probably 3/4, maybe. Let's do the math. You guys could do the math. I think it would just take too much time. Essentially, I'm risking about $1,200 to make probably $5,000 or $6,000 on this trade. Just guessing. 100% guess, because this to here looks like it's about $1,000 to $1,200. And if I was to just eyeball what my risk reward would be, there's my first exit. That would be 2,400. About 3,000. About $45,000 to maybe $5,000. So risking 12 to make 5 on this type of a trade. I'll go through and do the math. But that to me is where I want to be. That is correct for the account that I am trading and where I'm looking to do. And I don't think I'm going to move my stop loss. If this is a big if gold does sell off and maybe we just go do something like this, then yes, I would move my stop loss. I would move it, say, to here at 23.53 if it's a valid reason. Will it do it? Maybe, maybe not. I'm going to go eat dinner and then I'm going to watch a movie, and I might check the markets one more time before I go to bed, and I'm either going to have a $1,200 loss or a $5,000 winner, something like that. So I think that's it, guys, and that's all for me. Nothing else too dramatic happening in the markets. Let's see if we could catch a nice short trade, even though I said I'm not a good shorter and I'm not good at shorting the markets. Here I am, it's sitting in a short. So good night. I'm excited. I'm going to get some good sleep because tomorrow, Rips and I, there we are. We're going to be fast markets, hopefully getting in and being front and center with some amazing news from Topstep, and see if we can make some good money in the house account and our own accounts. I focus on my own account more than I focus on my house account. I let the house account follow me. If the house account wants to trade and take my trade ideas, so be it. I'm all to help. So thank you guys. Take care, and I will see you